So, one really cool part of being a teacher is the ability to plan and go on grad trips with your students. Honestly, it is a ton of fun, and I just got back from one that we went on yesterday, so let's break it down a little bit. So, planning the trip itself was pretty relaxing. It wasn't too bad. So, starting out, we just need to figure out what do we want to do. Some grad trips, they want to go to a different city that they've never been to. For example, when I was in grade 8, I went to Quebec City. Or another option that is commonly chosen is to go to an overnight camp or something along those lines. Or one of the other popular ones is to go to a theme park near you and just have some fun, relax for a day, and let the kids really do whatever they want. So I've done all three before as some different types of school trips, but honestly, this one was super, super special to me. I thought it was really cool, and it was also the first trip that I went on from the standpoint of a teacher. So starting off, we decided to go to an outdoor education center that was probably about an hour and a half out of the city. So we were in the middle of the forest. We got to do a ton of cool activities, right? They had a low ropes course, a high ropes course, a bunch of team building activities like that one activity where you have to get over like a 12 or like 13-foot tall wall. And that was a lot of fun because everyone in my class got over that wall. No matter what their physique was, no matter what their athletic abilities were, they all made it over by working together as a team, and that was really cool. Also, and this is something that I think was really cool about the trip, so I went on the trip with three other teachers, so there were four of us in total, and always in the school, we're very professional, we're very, like, you're there to do a job, you're sort of there to make sure that the students are safe and that the students are having a fun time and learning in school. But when we were out on this trip, we had two guides with us who sort of took control of the students. They took care of the planning and the activities. And we were just mostly along to make sure that no one got injured and that everyone was participating. But for all of us, it was just a super relaxing environment. We got to joke around a lot more than we normally do. We got to talk about our family lives and our personal lives, some of our interests and hobbies and whatnot. And that's not something you always get time to do during the school day. And it just made me realize how important that is in not only a placement, but also just like where you're working for the rest of your life. It's so important to be able to connect to your colleagues, to be able to understand them, to know what they go through, and to know where they've come from. Now, you might be asking me, what did you do at this outdoor education center? So, outside of the low ropes and the high ropes and some team building activities, we also just did a bunch of games that the students wanted to do. So, we played a massive game of Manhunt in a Forest, which was a lot of fun. We had some campfires, we sang some campfire songs, did some Two Truths and a Lie, like a bunch of little games like that, funny storytelling. We also just did a bunch of leadership activities. So for example, I don't know how many of you know, but there's one activity where everyone puts like a finger in, and there's probably like a group of 6, and you have to like balance a broom and lift it up together. And if anyone basically goes without communicating with the rest, or if the communication's really weak, the broom will just fall over. It's actually a really, really cool activity, but it was just a lot of stuff like that. And, I was talking with the kids afterwards, and they were really excited. They were really happy that they got to go on this trip, because the past 2 years, they've been locked inside, and even before that, they were saying that, honestly, they're always on their computers, they're always doing schoolwork, like they never really have time to go outside and relax, outside of like hanging out in the backyard in the summer or something like that. So it was really nice for them to be able to get out in nature and start to appreciate it. And we learned a lot about sustainable living. So when we were having our meals, part of planning the grad trip was planning the meals, so we gave them all a choice. And we had these big bowls off to the side, one for each table. So there were 4 tables of students. And these big bowls were to collect their food waste. And at the end of the night, whoever had the most food waste throughout the day had this big, massive punishment. Now, it wasn't anything crazy. It was like they were last to get s'mores. But still, the idea of sustainable living, sustainable eating, not wasting food, not wasting resources, we really tried to hammer that across to them through that, and we spoke to them about it. We had some other fun games. So, for example, while we were eating, the students decided that we're going to have some fun, and when we're eating dessert, which was a strawberry shortcake, no one's allowed to use their hands, and we need to do a sort of like bobbing for apples. So that was honestly a real cool experience. But one last thing, you don't realize how long of a day it is. So we did this on a Monday, which means that we left at 8 in the morning. So I had to be at the school for 8 in the morning. We left at 8 in the morning. We didn't get back home until 9:30. And then I had to make sure that all the students left, make sure that everyone was like getting home safely, etc., that someone had been picked up. And I didn't get home until after 10 o'clock. So I was gone for 14 hours. I also had to lesson prep and plan for the next day, which was really interesting because not the most fun when you only get like 4 hours, 5 hours of sleep, have to get up, and then I'm like scrambling to lesson plan, get stuff together. I don't know if I'm going to be called into emergency supply anywhere. So it was a crazy experience, but also a crazy fun experience. So if you have the opportunity, definitely try to take one of those grade 8 or grade 12 classes and take them on a grad trip somewhere. It's honestly a ton of fun and you will not regret it. So with that said, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you all around. But if you like the content, you are more than welcome to like the channel and subscribe to the channel. I very much appreciate it. I'll see you all around. Bye everyone. Have a great day.